You said I want the Grinch, Crazy Nate, but the movie I almost did hate. So instead I decided to test my fate. I thought the one with Jim Carrey was great. You may be right, you may be pissed, but I made a list and here's everything you missed. How the Grinch Stole Christmas is an adaptation from Dr. Seuss's book, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And with over 600 million books sold, I'm sure you probably read a few of Dr. Seuss's books. So if you look hard, you'll find Easter eggs referencing to other famous books by Dr. Seuss. And the mountain is based on a real-life mountain, Mount Tom. When the Grinch was stealing Christmas from Whoville, if you look here, you will see there's a fish in a fishbowl. Now this is a reference to Cat in the Hat, another book that Dr. Seuss is famous for, and probably my favorite from his entire collection is Green Eggs and Ham. So you shouldn't be surprised when you see at the end when they're all sitting at the table with the Bend. You will see Cindy Lou give Max some food, and it's none other than Green Eggs and Ham. Another famous writing from Dr. Seuss is Horton Hears a Who. So naturally, a giant elephant statue would be a reference to that book. Then just like an elephant, it seems like we have another Christmas movie that makes a reference to the famous Sasquatch, otherwise known as Bigfoot.
Get the stick! Get the stick! Stick! Stick, stupid!
Now here's a reference to a movie that wasn't by Dr. Seuss. If you look at this telescope over here, you'll notice that one of its legs is a fake leg as the tripod. In A Christmas Story, Dad gets an ugly leg lamp that ends up getting thrown away. And if it was in the trash, it would make sense it would end up here. Another famous Christmas movie is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. And if you watch when the Grinch is skiing down the mountain, he poses just like how Clark Griswold posed on the cover of that movie.
Oh, Martha. Oh, well, Velvet.
One sound effect that's an Easter egg in its own right is the famous Castle Thunder sound effect. If you turn up the volume, you will hear it right here with the Santa sleigh. You know the Grinch was acted by Jim Carrey, but did you also know that it took him 2.5 hours every single day to make the makeup so he looks like the Grinch? And sometimes they forgot to put on his little custom contacts like right here. Was this foreshadowing? Watch this. In Liar Liar, a few years prior to this movie, Jim Carrey's son is named Max.
Hey, creepy!
And get this, the teacher was actually reading Dr. Seuss's Green Eggs and Ham to the class. Now this right here is a camera on a boom. And when the Grinch is building his sleigh, you can actually see the shadow from the camera.
Hello, Poppy.
There's several famous people in the movie, but nobody cares, so I'm not gonna point them all out. However, I think some of them are fun, and I'm gonna point them out. Like the movie was directed by Ron Howard, and you may remember him as Opie from the Andy Griffith Show. Well, he also snuck into his own movie right here. More of his family is also in the movie though. This is his dad, the elderly timekeeper. Then if you see in the credits, you see the movie was dedicated to Jean Spiegel Howard. This is Ron Howard's mother, who sadly passed away a few months prior to the movie being completed. And this is Ron's brother, Clint Howard, playing as Hubris. Then get this, the girl right here is Bryce Howard, Ron's daughter. And you might know her from Jurassic World. So if it wasn't for Opie on the Andy Griffith Show, we would have never gotten Claire from Jurassic World. At the end, we find out that the Grinch and Martha May Whoville are soulmates ever since the very beginning of the movie. But even their mailboxes were soulmates, right next to each other. Even the Christmas decorations that the Grinch made for Martha May, she never got rid of it.
The muscles.
And that makes sense because even though she seems to be a superficial level Who, she's actually very sentimental. Like the 100-year-old decoration that she has.
It's handcrafted and almost 100 years old.
In fact, the way that she treated the Grinch is likely the source of why she seems to be so rude to people in the town. Because everyone was mean to the Grinch. But also while we're here, look at her hair. That's an Easter egg to Dr. Seuss's book, ABC. When Grinch was directing The Dog, this was actually Jim Carrey teasing the director Ron Howard.
Action!
You can binge watch all your favorite Christmas movies over there and get your name in the credits by hitting the join button. And let me know what movie you want to talk about next, and your comment could be featured in that next video. But until our next adventure, remember most importantly of all, share a smile, they are contagious.